He's got, bubbling personality. I'm glad he was able to showcase that, center court from the fans. He's doing a lot more than, dancing and winning those competitions. He's helped elevate the tone of our practice.
Yuki Kawamura is dominating, not just playing. In the Olympics, this guy lost to France by 29 points. France! That's crazy. But wait, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? Do you recall Jeremy Lin, Linsanity, the man who swept through New York? He hardly gets any playing time anymore. What took place? We will analyze the reasons behind the rise of one Asian star and the decline of another. I promise you won't want to miss this. Know what's crazy? Right now, a 5'8" guy is dominating the NBA. Yuki Kawamura is creating waves, not just playing. Let's discuss this tiny powerhouse's journey from Japan to the major leagues. Consider this. When Kawamura made history as the youngest player in Japan's B-League, he was still a young child. It would be like playing against grown men in high school.
He's a joy to be around. He's a character.
He's full of energy. He's got, bubbling personality. I'm glad he was able to showcase that, center court from the fans.
The crazy part is that he didn't stop there. No, Kawamura had a more ambitious goal in mind. What's his game? It's similar to playing a highlight reel repeatedly. The moves this guy uses against players much taller than him will astound you. He's dropping dimes that make you wonder if he has eyes in the back of his head as he speeds past defenders like they're motionless. And let's not even talk about his shooting. When he's aiming, the rim appears to be twice as large. The worst part, though, is that Kawamura is not only talented, he is revolutionizing the game. He's demonstrating that in basketball, height isn't everything. It's about intelligence, skill, and speed, and he has plenty of those, boy. By threading passes through holes that shouldn't even be there, he's making defenders look foolish. What's even more bizarre, this is not limited to Japan. Kawamura is showcasing his skills on a global scale. He faced some of the world's top athletes during the Olympics. And you know what? He dominated, not just held his own. I'll give you an example. France versus Japan in the Olympics. France, with its tall players and NBA stars. Kawamura, who resembles David among Goliaths, is also present. However, it appears that he is unaware of the height difference when the game begins. He's running the offense like a seasoned pro, slicing past defenders and making long-range baskets. Jaws are on the ground by the game's conclusion. Kawamura lost to France by 29 points. France! That's crazy. Some of the world's top defenders are on this team, and this 5'8" Japanese player just made them smile like a Christmas tree. But it's not all about the points. He got them that way. Kawamura showed courage by defeating opponents who were a foot taller than him. Fans and commentators alike were shaking their heads in shock at the plays he was making. This show, it was more than a game. It was a declaration. Kawamura proved to the world that he was worthy of playing on the biggest basketball stage. He is more than a mere curiosity or inspirational tale. He can compete with the best of them and is a true baller. Another Asian player's path took a different turn, even though Kawamura's star is rising. Imagine being the NBA's darling and the talk of New York City. And then, hey, you're hardly moving from the bench at all. That's the story of Jeremy Lin, and it's more bizarre than you might imagine. Do you recall the time when Jeremy Lin was the most attractive person in basketball? Now let's go back to 2012. There was Linsanity everywhere. It was impossible to open a newspaper or turn on the television without seeing Lynn's face. Overnight, he lit up the basketball world like a supernova. Imagine this. Lynn was dropping more than 20 points as if it didn't matter. Like a seasoned pro, he was slicing through defenses, making baskets from beyond the arc, and dishing out assists. The most bizarre aspect? He appeared suddenly. Before he became the king of New York, he was dozing off on his teammate's couch. Then, however, strange things happened. It's kind of strange. Everyone was left baffled by Lynn's sudden decline after his quick ascent. Imagine being a superstar and then hardly playing at all. That's Lynn's tale. One moment he's on magazine covers, the next he's on the sidelines watching games. What's even more bizarre, even though he is still in the league, he hardly ever plays. It resembles witnessing a magic show done backwards. The show's star abruptly fades into the background. Lynn went from being the team's offensive leader to being the bench's cheerleader. The shocking news is that Lynn is now an NBA champion. Yes, you heard correctly. In 2019, he received a ring from the Toronto Raptors. He's still having trouble figuring out where he fits on the court, though, despite that equipment. It's similar to owning a Ferrari but only using it to shop for groceries. Why doesn't he play more, though? That is the crucial question. Are injuries to blame? Has he lost his charm? Or is there another activity taking place behind the scenes? It's comparable to an unsolvable basketball mystery. Lynn's tale resembles a roller coaster that abruptly came to a halt at the hill's summit. All of us are waiting to see if the ride will continue or if it will stop here. It serves as a reminder that things can change more quickly in the NBA than a crossover dribble. Thus, Lynn's journey serves as a sobering reminder of how unpredictable basketball can be while we watch Kawamura rise. You can be the hero one moment and then be fighting for minutes the next. It only serves to highlight the fact that nothing in the NBA is guaranteed, not even for the player whose name was once chanted by everyone. Okay, so you believe that swishing threes and living the good life are the only things that Asian ballers in the NBA have to offer? Rethink your thought. Kawamura and Lynn, off the court, they've had to deal with some crazy things that would leave your head spinning. Imagine this. Racist epithets are being hurled at you while you're out partying. Even in college, Lynn had to cope with such bizarre situations. This is what fans were saying about him at a national tournament. Yao Ming. Do you think that's possible? Lynn claimed he was extremely embarrassed by it. You know, he wishes he had defended himself. Being proud of who you are is more important than the game itself. The thing is, though, these guys aren't taking it lying down. Every one of them is having a change of heart. Lynn has been having those awkward conversations about this stuff. He's thinking, yeah, it's not always easy to talk about, but I'm glad I did. One game at a time, he is dispelling stereotypes. He is not merely playing ball. Some of the things Lynn had to deal with will shock you. On the court, it was more than just trash talk. This is outright discrimination. You know what's crazy, though? All of that fueled his game. He made NBA history as the first American of Chinese or Taiwanese heritage. That's enormous. Kawamura now, he is dealing with his own problems. In a league of giants, being a 5'8" Asian guy, that's serious. However, he is demonstrating that height is not a determining factor. By demonstrating that intelligence and skill can outsmart size on any given day of the week, he is revolutionizing the game. The interesting part is that these guys are no longer merely players. They truly are icons. Lynn is now more than just a basketball player. Talking about empathy and love in a divided world, he is out there attempting to make a difference. Furthermore, he gave Harvard $1 million. That's walking the walk, as well as talking the talk. The most absurd aspect of all of this, do you know? Lynn's voyage. For men like Kawamura, it cleared the path. That's enormous. He demonstrated to the world that Asian athletes are capable of competing with the best. Kawamura now plays for more than just himself when he takes the court. He's continuing Lynn's work by opening doors and influencing people's opinions. Therefore, keep in mind that there is much more to an Asian player's story than just their assists and baskets. The next time you see them dominating the court, both on and off the court, they are transforming the game. And there you have it, the true game changer. Do you find the stories of Lynn and Kawamura impressive? Simply wait to find out what comes next. Everything is about to change as a wave of Asian talent makes its way to the NBA. We are discussing mind-blowing, history-making, and game-changing topics. And what do you know? You wouldn't believe how close it is. Lynn and Kawamura, they are merely the prelude. Believe me, a whole generation of Asian ballers is poised to make their NBA debuts, and their skills will astound you. Imagine a league in which it is no longer considered a huge deal to see an Asian player. It's where we're going, not just a dream. However, the reality is that it will not be an easy task. There will be some significant obstacles for these players to overcome. Remember how Kawamura and Lynn had to contend with doubters and stereotypes? The next generation will have to face those challenges as well. What's exciting, though, are the opportunities these men are creating. They are facilitating the ascent of the next Asian superstar. Do you know what's truly crazy? Because of players like Kawamura, the NBA is completely altering its strategy. They are conducting more scouting, hosting games, and even establishing training camps in Asia. It seems as though they have at last discovered a wealth of talent that they have been overlooking. The best part is that teams are beginning to adapt their style of play to accommodate various approaches. Do you recall how everyone believed that in order to succeed in the NBA, you had to be extremely tall? Kawamura, however, is disproving that. He is demonstrating that intelligence, skill, and speed can always outweigh size. I have a crazy idea. Is it possible that an Asian MVP will be chosen in the future? I realize it sounds crazy, but it's not as crazy as you might imagine. It will only be a matter of time until one of the Asian players takes the top spot, as more of them enter the league and have genuine opportunities to shine. The success of Kawamura, It's changing the parameters of what Asian players can do. That alone has the potential to change everything. In addition to playing ball, he is influencing people's perceptions, dispelling myths, and opening doors for an entirely new wave of Asian ballers. Basketball's future? We can all be excited about the fact that it appears to be much more diverse.